Hi, I'm Justin. Today we're going to make a crispy ricotta gnocchi. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with 3/4 cups of flour times 3, because we're going to make 3 different portions. So we're going to start with that. We're going to add the Parmesan, which is 1.5 cups. Mix those together with your hands. So you just start with all your dry ingredients and combine them. We'll add our salt, just about 1.5 teaspoons. Fresh ground pepper. Mix all that together. And we're going to do a zest of 2 lemons. Just add right there. And then once you get that, you make a well in the center, just like you would making pasta. And you're going to add 3 cups of fresh ricotta. Right in the center. You kind of make a well in the middle of that. You add 3 eggs. Then you just combine the 2 wet ingredients, just like so. And as you go around in a circle, it kind of picks up the flour and the dry ingredients. This will help make it into a dough. And then from there, you just kind of take that outer bit and add it to the middle. Just turn and combine. You don't want to overmix, because if you overmix, it will toughen the dough. So you just kind of want to do a light incorporation of the ingredients. And if it's sticky, just add a little bit more flour, which I have right here. And then I like to just scrape it down once we get it slightly incorporated. Alright. So that's your dough. It's still a little wet. What we're going to do is let it sit and let it rest for a moment, for about 10 minutes, and then we'll come back to it and roll it out into our gnocchi. So what I did is the dough rested for about 10 minutes. Then I took the dough, kind of patted it out, and what you want to do is kind of push it down to about 1 inch thick. And then from there, you're going to cut it into 4 different sections. What we'll do is if it's a little wet, that's fine, because you have plenty of flour on the bench too. So just set your other 3 pieces aside. What we're going to do is work on one at a time. What you're going to do is roll them into a cylindrical shape, about 1 inch by 1 inch. And if you have to cut it in half, feel free. Sometimes it's easier to work with a smaller piece. So that's about the right size you'd like. And from there, you're going to take a pan, flour the base of the pan, because you don't want them sticking together. And you're going to cut these into 1-inch squares. Just like so. That's one gnocchi there. You can take your fork and roll it across the top, and it'll give you that. Once you get about 10 pieces, we can make a dish. For this dish, we're going to do a brown butter and sage sauce with wild mushrooms. So, there's our first batch of gnocchi. And while I do the rest of these, we'll start on the sauce. So what we've done is we've rolled out all our gnocchi and then went ahead and cut them. As you can see over here, this is where we did the forked ones, and these are not forked. The reason for the forking is it helps, the meaning for it is to hold the sauce. In this instance, we don't need to really hold the sauce because it's butter. So anyway, we're gonna get these cooked up. We've got a few here ready. What we're gonna start with is olive oil in the pan. We'll get that nice and hot. And what we'll do is sear these off until you get them a nice golden brown, and that's what gives them the crispiness. It's kind of what separates them from regular gnocchis. So we'll start with the forked side down. And it shouldn't take that long. What you'll do is just kind of get them golden around the whole bit of the gnocchi. Just turn them nice and golden like so. Once you get them golden on each side, and put them back on the pan. From there, I like to stick them in the oven and let them finish in the center. Then while that's going, what we'll do is we'll make our sauce. We'll start with the wild mushrooms. Saute those. What I have here is garlic, butter, and some ground sage. What you want to do is just get these mushrooms nice and sauteed. So then what we're gonna do is now we're gonna add the butter, garlic, and the sage. I have dried sage here. You can use fresh sage as well. What we're gonna do is just add these, saute them until the butter gets sort of a brownish. Should just take a minute. And there we're going to season it with a little pinch of salt, a little ground pepper. As you can see there, it's nice, getting a nice golden. You can hardly tell in the non-stick pan, but take our gnocchis, which are ready to go. What you want them to just kind of have a little bit of resistance, and then that's how you know they're ready. Nice coating, the butter and the mushrooms and all the flavors. And from there, over here, smell the nice toasted garlic. cookies. In there. Take your butter, your mushrooms, drizzle it over the top. Add that. There. Touch of Parmesan. There you are. That's your crispy gnocchi with wild mushroom, sage, and garlic. Bon appetit. Let's give it a shot. Wow, it was really good. And I think you'll like it at home as well if you try this. So, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again next time.